couple things, the way this is going to operate. So as you know, there are the questions that have been submitted. So while I will read the questions, then we're going to encourage student questioning and comments in support of those written questions that were developed by the student body. I just want to make sure that all the written questions do get answered by the end of the forum. And so I will make sure that if I have to cut off some of the comments and questions from the end, it's not in the interest of cutting off questions, in the interest of getting all the original questions answered. There also will be an opportunity for small group meetings immediately following this, right after this session, where there will be a couple of the Board of Visitor members in, I think, 3 of the rooms or possibly 4 of the rooms, and we'll give you the directions on which ones are going to be right at the end of the forum. If you need to leave during the session, please leave by the back exit. And then there are 4 students that have microphones. So I will recognize them as you have questions or comments. Please stand. And if you can't, introduce yourself as you speak so that we get a chance to see who's actually in the audience here. And I'll also ask the Board of Visitors to use the microphones too. I was watching some of the video, and at first it was very hard to hear people, but by the middle of the forum last time, people were doing that. There was people were able to hear in the overflow room. And I also was asked to introduce a gentleman who has been just, I guess, confirmed as interim president, and so Mr. Taylor Reevely, and if you would just stand and if people would recognize him. And before we start with the questions, actually, we're going to begin with one of the Board of Visitors members, Suzanne Matthews, who's going to do a little bit of a welcome, and then we're going to ask each of the board members to introduce themselves to you.
I just wanted to say, the first I heard, we had 10 big questions coming, so the fact that we've whittled it down to 8 makes, I think we're making progress already, so thanks a lot for that. I wanted to say thank you very much. I think it speaks to the William and Mary community that we are all able to be here today to have this discussion. We are here, we want to hear, we want to talk with you. We know the many, many questions, many more than 8 or 10, that you all have. And this is a conversation that we have to have. So we are committed to discussing with you both now and in the smaller groups when we break out until we've just been through as much of this as we possibly can get through it today. And this is not the end. I've worked with Zach and Valerie, and we certainly want to continue to do so, to take the students' concerns and just to make sure that we have much, much better lines of communication with you. I think something that has happened in the last 10 days has been that we have been able to talk to a lot more students, and I think that we understand the need that we all have to get to know each other better. I would like to say also that we are always referred to as the Board of Visitors, but we are really 17 separate individuals. Most of us are alums. A few people made youthful mistakes and went elsewhere, but we have forgiven them their indiscretions, and we love them just the same. And they're some of the most valuable members of the board. I want to look at Phil Herget, who is on the end. Okay, not at William and Mary, originally a grad, but he's been the guiding spirit behind getting a new space, new facilities, and new resources for the Career Center, which is so important to the students. I'm looking no, I was looking. We lost Jeff McWaters, but he, a few years ago, looked around at our campus and said, you know, we've got some great buildings, but we've got some not so great buildings. And so he commissioned and worked with a design study which has made sure that the new dorms don't resemble the new campus. And that, you know, he and his work and his committees have made great impact on the community. And I turn last to the judge, John Charles, who is not an alum, but he berates us regularly at every meeting for not wearing enough green and gold, even though I tell him I look terrible in green and gold. But he asked the Alumni Association to get green and gold scarves, kind of like Harry Potter scarves, which is now available at the Alumni Association. And then he gave Zach the prototype. Zach, where are you? Up there. And after, I think, the December meeting, he gave Zach the prototype, and the next time I saw Zach, he was walking by the Daily Grind wearing it with a female student on either arm, so as a look, I think he was making it work for him. So he owes that to John Charles. And you know, I think I actually forgot to say, I guess I did get my name there, but I am Suzanne Matthews. I'm class of 71. I lived in Ludwell because that was freshman women out-of-state housing at the time. I lived in Barrett, I lived in Jefferson, and I lived in the sorority house, and I had a totally undistinguished student record. But I say that because here I am, 30-odd years later. And one day, 20 or 30 years from now, you all are going to be sitting on the Board of Visitors, just as you are grappling, and we are all grappling, with these decisions and these consequences. You are going to be making decisions on the Board of Visitors, and you are going to find people who are passionately on the other side of what you feel, and they were going to be wondering, why did you do what you did? But you are going to be able to say to them, whatever you think of our decision, we did it because of the, uppermost in our mind was our great love for the College of William and Mary. And that's what I am saying to you now. We have disagreements, we do not understand each other in all things, but everybody comes to this room thinking first of the love that we have for William and Mary. So with that, I'm going to ask my fellow members of the board to introduce themselves.
Well, I'm Bobby Ukrop, and I hate to tell you when I graduated, because you're going to think, what in the world does she know about William and Mary today? But I graduated in 1961, but have a long history with William and Mary. Well, anyway, my mother went here, my husband went here, I went here, and one of our sons went here. But we do understand William and Mary today, or trying hard to, and we thank you so much for being here.
I'm John Charles Thomas. I'm former Justice of the Supreme Court of Virginia. I'm a lawyer in Richmond. I was here in 1993 on the committee for the tercentenary of the college. I've actually been recruited, although I went to UVA, I've been recruiting minority students for the College of William and Mary for many, many years, long before I was on this board. I love the College of William and Mary.
I'm Michael Powell. I'm a 1985 graduate of William and Mary. Both of my sisters are graduates of William and Mary. I met my wife in Yates Hall, 3rd South, who's also a graduate of William and Mary. My father has an honorary degree, and my mother is working on it. We have a long commitment to the school, and I'm looking forward to our discussion.
Well, I can't top any of that. I'm Anita Post, and I'm a lawyer, and I live in Norfolk. I graduated from the law school in 1974. I met my husband here, and we were married in the Wren Chapel, and we lived actually in DuPont Hall as graduate residents there. We were assigned with a house mother to keep order, but that was the year of the streakers, and my fondest memory of William and Mary is when there were about 700 naked guys running through DuPont Hall, which at that time was the freshman women's dorm.
Don't get any ideas.
That's right. Shouldn't have said that, I guess. But I have the 2 children who graduated from William and Mary, and a daughter who is currently in graduate school here. I'm pleased to be on the board.
Hi, I'm Kathy Hornsby. I'm a 79 graduate. I always thought I was one of the stupidest people here, and probably was. Anyway, I live in Williamsburg. I've lived here since 1990, and I have 2 teenage sons, one who has already been recruited here for track, but I don't think academically he's going to make it. So, thanks.
Oh.
Kathy, that went out live to him. He heard that.
Sorry.
Hello, everyone. I'm Phil Herget. I'm a businessman up in Alexandria, Virginia. And as Suzanne said, I was unfortunate and wasn't able to go to school here. I went to a little school down the road. I have really grown to love this place since my time on the Board of Visitors here. And the reason is you all. I am so inspired and I'm so awed by the student body of this college. And it is why when I first got here and saw the Career Services Center in the basement of Blow Hall, I was like, what is going on? This is wrong. We have an incredible student body here, and they should have the best opportunity to find the best job because they offer something to everybody out there. And so that is why I took it upon myself very early on in my tenure here at the College of William and Mary to be so vocal, as well as to fund the architectural designs of the new Career Services Center. So you all are the reason we're here. We love you guys. We're inspired by you guys, and we're awed by you. Thank you very much.